right, we're going to call to order the meeting of November 28th, 2023. It is 6 p.m. First, we're going to go around the room and ask all the members present to introduce themselves. Can all the members, starting with Laura, speak into the microphone?
I'm Laura Powell.
I am Elizabeth Jones. I'm the chair.
Bay Brassey.
Next, we're going to allow, first I'm going to say absent are Jane Camp and Mark Hammis. And next, we're going to allow the city staff to introduce themselves.
I'm Brad Callender, Planning and Zoning Director.
I'm Laura Wilson, Code Administration.
Next, we have on the agenda the approval of the agenda. And I'm going to ask, has everyone had a chance to review the agenda? Yes. Okay. We'll ask for a motion and ask that all members please show approval with a raise of your hand and, vocalization into the microphone. But first, do I have a motion to approve the agenda as submitted?
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. Next on the agenda, do I have an approval of the minutes? And I'm going to do the same thing and ask if everyone has had a chance to review the minutes of October 2023.
I move they be approved as presented.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, and we'll ask that all members show approval with a raise of hand and vocalization into the microphone.
Aye.
Approved.
Okay, motion so carried. Next on the agenda, we would have old business. Is that correct, Laura?
We need to approve the minutes from September as well.
Oh, okay, let's see, because we did not do that last time.
Correct, since we did not officially have a meeting last month, we also need to approve September minutes.
Okay, well, let's go back and do that. Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes from September? September 2023, okay. Were there any changes or corrections to the minutes of September 2023? Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay. Then we'll ask for a motion and ask that members show approval with a raise in a hand of vocalization into the microphone after the motion. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve.
Okay, do I have a second? Okay. Can I ask that members show approval with a raise of the hand and vocalization into the microphone?
Aye.
Approved.
Okay, motion for those minutes from September, so approved. All right, next on the agenda, we have old business, and I do not show that we have any old business on the agenda. So we're going to move on to new business.
Our first item of new business is for 116 South Wayne Street.
Are you talking into the microphone?
There we go. All right. Is this better, Ms. Fay? All right, this property is in the Monroe Commercial Historic District. It is locally known as the Mule Building, and the applicant is requesting replacement of the front door, which is on South Wayne Street, and you can see the door here that they have constructed and would like to put. Currently, there is no door at all. And then they would also like to add a sign over the front doorway. And then on the rear of the building, they would like to paint a replica of the original sign, and you can kind of see it here in this picture. And it would actually go back here on the building. So if the applicant would like to come forward and have any remarks to say, please introduce yourself into the microphone.
My name is Jake Lill. I'm with LG3 LLC, my wife Jamie. That's pretty much it, what Laura described, except we were going to add a light above the door, or above the sign, actually, was the only change. You want to go back to the...
Is the door open on Wayne Street? Are you entering,
Oh, we would enter in
The
the
back
back.
door.
Yeah, it would be strictly for decoration.
do what?
It would be strictly for decoration. the
Okay.
front door. I mean, it is gonna open,
I knew
but
there were no steps there, and I
Yeah.
couldn't see how you could add them, okay?
that's a loading dock, but the height isn't correct, so it's not like it would really be functional
Okay.
for us.
Okay.
I'm excited about this. It looks like you did a little bit of research here. The Felker Horses and Mules. I'm like,
No,
ooh.
we've driven by this building for years wanting to, and I've always looked at it thinking,
And
oh, I'd love to
the
fix that.
color is so beautiful.
Oh, that's good.
It looks
I
like
was hoping-
Venetian
thanks.
plaster.
Oh, that's good.
Gorgeous, gorgeous.
That's what they do out west for blast walls, and we didn't have a lot of choice, and we're masons by trade, and we couldn't really take apart. We wanted to keep the brick if we could, but there's that
Right.
the concrete over it, so we didn't really have a choice. So they use that out in San Francisco and then mining walls for blast to
Beautiful.
kind of hold it all together. So
Beautiful.
If you have any more pictures of the Felker,
We have so much Felker, oh my goodness.
Oh, we would
Oh
love-
my
yeah.
goodness. You've got to stop by the museum. We have so much. We have archives of this. You've got to stop by and see us. I'm on the museum board. You've got
Oh, that's
to
good.
please
I will.
stop by and see us. I'm so excited.
my guys want to put that picture in the bottom right. We want to put that back too, with the horses were kept, and kind of keep that as a storage area, but replicate that part too. So, but I didn't. That was just something that came out.
I was back there looking. And is this what you're talking about? You want to replicate this part?
No, that's actually Chad's building, the wooden fence in front of it.
Is this the alley right through here?
yes.
Yeah, that's correct.
I couldn't tell from that picture, but I thought that's what it was.
Yeah, that's really just a picture of the sign that we
Yeah,
want to
okay.
put that. Are you okay if we put our family name on it though, as opposed to Felker, or does it have to be?
I would prefer that you keep with the Felkers
that's
just
fine.
because of the ancestry of the
Yeah,
city,
that's okay,
but.
it's okay.
I mean, that's really big around here, you
Is
know.
it really? Well, we found out the history that they own the mill that we'll talk about later, 200 Barrett, which I think is kind of a weird coincidence that our family ended up buying them. So,
It's just such a huge story here.
it?
It's
Okay.
just,
Oh,
yes.
then that answers
Yeah, and if it ties into the McDaniel history, the McDaniel Titchener House and all the family history around here. It's just such if you dig into it, you're just going to be
we will.
overwhelmed by the history.
yeah. we will.
The young man that works at the museum downtown was very knowledgeable. He was very, very helpful.
Talking about Brown.
Yeah, probably, I'm wondering who you met. Was it the young man working at the desk? Mm-hmm. Oh, he is very knowledgeable. But you need to come back and you need to talk to Steve Brown, and he could really fill you in on all of the history down there, too.
And more pictures, I heard.
I'm
Right?
sorry?
And more pictures.
Many more pictures, yes.
That would be great.
Y'all have any
And
more
you
questions?
use-
May I ask a question? I just had a question about the mule icon on top here. Is that like a brand, or would you consider an alternative to that?
Oh, yeah, for sure. We
It
want to
seems a little too
cartoonish.
cartoonish,
Yeah, I can see where you could say
I'm
that.
not saying that's bad.
No,
but
no,
it
we-
looks
yeah,
like
we
it's
went
a
back,
brand
yeah.
that you're trying to convey, or?
No,
Because everyone calls it the mule barn. So when we looked up pictures of
Yeah.
mules, like ones
Yeah.
that, some of them were scary looking.
This one's,
scary. A lot of teeth.
I don't know, I'm thinking like silhouette of mule maybe perhaps, or something like that, or, I don't know.
It is going to be black iron though, so that will change that. It's, I wonder if I have,
And he might make him even creepier if you do it this way then.
I wonder if I have, yeah.
I'm not suggesting that you change it, I just thought it
Yeah.
was kind of, I'm like, is this a brand? or-
No, it's just really
No.
for a reference that people know, because that's what we call it, so they want.
I'm not 100% sure that's a mule, but that,
All right.
anyway, but then that's taste and
You're
preference.
thinking it's a donkey?
He's a little too happy for me, he looks kind of
Oh, I see. But if it's
That
all
doesn't mean
one,
they can't do that, that's just,
yeah.
that's an ask.
Okay. I
This
would
is
be
gonna be an
opposed.
office building?
No,
We don't know what?
yeah, we do. We purchased that because with what we're going to talk about later, sorry, at the mill, that's where we're going to put our family business. We're based out of Rochester, New York. It's a fourth generation brick masons. We build furnaces and refractories, so we're masons by trade. Well, we were going to have that set up, but then we kind of kicked ourselves out with a future tenant, Regis, the WeWork shared working space people, they want to take 10,000 square feet on the first floor. So when they did that, we had to find other space, so that's where that became warehouse, so it'd be strictly warehouse.
You ought to have some good business here. There's several things that need working on.
Yeah, that's what we're thinking too, we're excited about it.
Good. I move we, oh, you've got to ask for the question first, though. Any more questions?
All right, let's see. Does anyone on the panel have any more questions? All right. Do I have any questions from the public? All right, do we have a motion?
I move that we accept it as presented.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passed.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
All right, thanks.
All right, let's see. Next on the agenda, it looks like we have request for COA 208 South Broad Street, exterior changes and windows.
Yes, ma'am. All right, so this is 208 South Broad Street in the Monroe Commercial Historic District. If you recall, this commission approved facade changes on the primary facade last year, I believe, and now the applicant is back for the remaining 3 sides of the building. And so here is a representative drawing of what he would like to do, but I will allow the applicant to talk about it in detail.
My name is Chad Draper with JEC Development. Here to talk about the Ford building. It was built in 1921 as an auto dealership. It's about 17,000 square feet, and our vision is to make it a mixed-use facility. Its square footage is just too big to serve any tenant that would want to be downtown currently, so it needs to be split up into smaller spaces and uses. We are currently in discussions with a brewery about locating in the building. Another thing I wanted to say is that we are applying for a historic tax credit through the National Park Service and through the Georgia Department of Community Affairs. So any of the work that we do on the building is going to have to go through their rules also, and their rules are incredibly stringent. So we're going to fit within their guidelines as well. So this has been proposed to them. We've had some early feedback from them, but they haven't completely signed off on it. But all indications are that they're generally in line with it.
Well, they will definitely
answer.
take precedent over us if you've got a grant. So if we approve it, is that right? Shouldn't they go through them first and come to us? Because I know they will have you take it down and do it the way they want it if it's not, if they've got a
I think
grant.
this committee can approve it, and I mean, obviously, the higher and more restrictive requirements will apply. If he goes to apply for those permits and they say change this or change that to meet the criteria, I don't know that it's gonna change your approval. I can't imagine they're gonna,
Yeah, it seems like you could, I mean, it's up to you, of course, but it seems like you could approve it as drawn. Anything that they suggest, I think, is gonna have to do with like the window light patterns or, you know,
Right.
things such as that. I mean, I don't see it being any sort of radical change, you know?
I think that's true.
and you could condition the approval that
Yes,
he
'cause-
provide Laura, like, if they make him change something, he can provide a supplement to her. And it's added to the file, that
Right.
way it's on the record and all that kind of stuff.
because I know in Madison, they had a real problem with that, with some of the things that they approved and had a conflict. And I don't want you to have to tear anything out, you know, to meet with their approval.
We're not gonna proceed with construction until we have their approval anyway.
Okay,
So we can
okay.
definitely, you know,
It
let
looks
Laura know.
really-
If the drawings change, we have to go before Brad and Pat and all of them anyway.
Right.
So they'll be aware if there's any changes from this proposal.
Right, right. Well, it looks really, really good. That's
Looks really, really good.
I think so.
major.
Parking shown there is just a conceptual idea. That's not required by the city or in the zoning or anything.
Right.
So, at this stage, that's just, you know, a conceptual idea, but
It may be a
but
conflict.
what we plan, this is what we plan to do to the building.
We may have to
If we
talk about that for the CBD, just, this is a different conversation. We don't have to have that today.
Just utilizing that green space next to it, though, is super.
And I
Very
like,
nice.
are you really planning to leave the J.L. McGarity signage? Hopefully.
Definitely open-minded to that.
Yeah.
I haven't talked to the family or whatever, if they're okay
Right.
with it. I would love to even put Ford on there, but I don't know, corporately, they probably won't allow that. But
Well,
I'm certainly open-minded to it.
yeah, it looks really good. And I like the way you've kept the look of the old, but you just updated it and cleaned it up a little bit.
I'm excited that you're working with the state to get a
Ooh,
tax
me
credit.
too.
I mean, that's great. I think it's wonderful. Looks good.
Yeah, we are too.
Wayne Street's going to be busy.
Do any of y'all have any questions about this? No? Do we have any questions from the public? Do we have a motion?
A motion.
Do you have a second?
Second.
Does that include the condition that if there's changes, he needs to,
Yes.
Yeah.
can you vocalize that in the motion?
I make a motion that includes.
Based on changes or on working with the other agency too.
For the,
Will be
let Faye
flexible.
do it.
All right, Faye, can I get you to include that in the motion?
I move that we accept this as presented with the stipulation that we work and be flexible with the agencies that he's working with for the grant. That if they ever make suggestions or whatnot, that we work with that.
Okay.
Is that good?
Kinda good.
that too
Maybe just
ambiguous?
allow their changes to lie.
Right.
I mean, I think we can,
Yeah, and
Your
that,
changes approved unless there's a problem with the grant agency. Right?
I got it. Okay. If you got any changes, just send them to me.
We'll
All right, Laura, can I get you to,
I second.
okay. All in favor?
Aye.
I
Any opposed? Motion passed. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
you.
Thank you so much for doing that. Wow.
All right. Third up, we've got a request for COA 108 William Street. Looks like we've got a shed.
Yes. So, 108 Williams Street is in the North Broad Historic District. The request is for a 10 by 14 shed, and it appears they want to put it on a concrete pad behind the house. This is a representative example of the type of shed. It's a tough shed, and they have this single door. I couldn't tell from the application whether or not it had a window or not. No window, okay. So no window, scratch the window, just the door, but it did have a gable roof on it. And here is the house at 108 William Street. So if the applicant would like to come forward.
And I'll ask the applicant to state a name and just go over the request.
All right, good evening. Can everyone hear me? Hi, my name is Rachel Carmichael Buzzard, and that is actually the house across the street from my house, but it looks very similar to my house.
I thought that.
But they look very similar. And this is Gary from Tough Shed, so he's going to answer any questions that I can't. Basically, we have currently a shed in the back, but the squirrels have had many meals on it, and the doors are falling off. And it's not, we can't hardly close it anymore. So this would just be the replacement. And we wanted one that was of decent quality, so it's an expensive shed. It will be the correct distance from the neighbor's fence as the current one is. It won't be visible from the street in the front of the house. And the color scheme is not that, it will match the darker hues in the brick of our home. All right? If you have any questions,
So you're just replacing the shed that you have, basically?
that's correct.
This was much better than that one, though. And thank you for using a gable, because your house has gables, and not using a different type of roof line.
No, we spared no cost. I want to buy it once. Buy it right, buy it once.
Right. Good.
This seems like a very straightforward request.
Yeah.
Does anyone here have any questions? No? Okay, does anyone in the public have any questions? No? Okay, do we have a motion?
I move we accept it as presented.
Do we have a second?
I second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passed. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, next on the agenda, we have request for COA 200 Barrett Street, exterior changes and windows.
Yes, so the applicant here, this is in the Monroe and Walton Mills Historic District at 200 Barrett Street, the old mill, and they are requesting to replace the nearly non-existent windows in the current mill to return it back to more of its historic look as a mill, and this is what they are proposing.
It's Jake Lill again with Industrial Furnace Company, and this is my wife Jamie. But so really, when you look at that, ultimately the grand plan is to turn that into 40 apartment units, loft style, that we want to put on the upper 2 floors, and then the bottom floor we'd still like to keep some space for us, office space, and then the opportunity we have with Regis with the shared working space on the lower floor. But ultimately, we don't like how they bricked in those upper 2 floor windows, and really want to replicate what you see on the lower floor and put that back. And we've partnered with Marvin, who's great. They've done a lot of historic buildings and mills, just like what we did, and that's why we want to go with them. And really just put the bigger mill style windows back, and including even in the elevator, because I think that would look pretty neat to see the elevator going up and down, as long as we're allowed to do that by code, if we can get something that's, because
I'm curious if you guys have applied for a historic tax credit for this, because it looks like an opportunity.
I was just,
We were
I was
just
part-
told.
yeah.
I mentioned this to Laura earlier, because I was like, this is a great opportunity for a
Yeah,
tax
well,
credit.
Yeah, I didn't know that there was.
You need to jump on it, because
Yeah.
you probably need to look at this and get it approved prior to starting in on the work, and let them look at the plans and like get in touch with the state and have them look over everything ASAP.
Right, I agree.
These windows look wider. Am I seeing them wider, or is it just a
there's-
picture?
So, well, they are because when they replaced the windows in the mill, they put in those real tiny ones, and there's barely any light that comes in. So you can see where the original windows were in the mill.
Or if you just look at what's on the lower floor, that's what's gonna go.
squares.
Yeah,
I'm seeing like an indention here. Is that what you're doing? You're taking all the brick here and making
yeah,
it window?
yeah,
That's what you're doing?
yeah. And if you look, it's, you can see where they bricked those in. In fact, it's a whole joint, they're almost falling apart really right now, so it's not gonna be hard to knock that in. But I think the window dimension is roughly 10 foot tall by 8 foot wide, so. But it'll really mirror what you see on the first floor with the old style windows. And then,
That'd be pretty.
and then what's not
Go
shown
back to
on
the
there,
original.
there's an atrium above that we found out originally had windows in it too, so we'd like to bring that back too, because we think that would be really pretty to have all that light on the upper floor, so.
You can kind of see it in that second photo. You can see just
Just
the
the
top of it.
yeah, but for whatever reason, they covered over that with plywood, so we've been taking that out as part of the demo, and just, and we're thinking that would be great to have glass there also.
Taking it back to what it was,
Yeah, that's really what we want to do. We really want to restore like that bottom ledge, the lintel there. We can bring that back and make it perfect again. And
Is this building, like the second floor, I believe, is like batting cages?
it is.
It
yeah,
is?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
because I
yeah.
felt like my son had
Yeah.
been there, so,
Oh, that's right,
okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. They're one of our tenants, and they're going to be out though by July of next year, so we can start.
Okay.
We're going to start on the 3rd floor to give them some more time, and then work our way down to the.
I really like these plans, but I strongly urge you to get in touch with the SHPO, with the state, and look at the tax credits very strongly, because you might be able to get some money back.
I didn't realize it was that much for
a lot.
Yes, a lot.
the time. Yeah,
Yeah,
And if you're going back to the original, they really work with you.
really.
but you need to do it before you get too involved, to make
that-
sure you have approval.
Well, the exterior would be one of the last things we do probably, but
I would do it before you get to, you need to have approval, so I would do it quickly.
Because you might get more approval if you work with them on the inside too.
Yeah, you just, yeah.
before you make structural changes especially.
Very much so.
It looks really nice.
Really does.
And we want to keep the industrial look even on the inside. Too. A lot of the steel, the mezzanines, we're envisioning more, steel, stairwells, metal handrails and things like that, so.
If you get a chance to stop by, and we're over there,
Yeah,
stop
that's
by,
fine.
we would love to show you the beautiful wood
Yeah,
on
we've
the
taken,
inside.
We've
It's
taken the last,
gorgeous.
it took us 4 months to sandblast the third floor. We went through, 40 pallets of blast media, but we've already taken off all the old paint and coating that was on the brick and on the wood to restore all that and bring that back. So it's really pretty, especially with all the light now that you're starting to see.
I have a question. You're gonna do these changes though, independent of the other stuff we've been talking
Oh,
about?
that's, yeah, regardless, yeah, that's.
This is not, like, that's not hinged on this,
No,
these
no, we would do
changes.
that,
You're going,
right.
you're wanting to do the windows separate from
Right,
that,
that's right.
and that will progress along as needed.
Yeah, because we're gonna have our architect meet up with your group to kind of go over that process. And
Right.
he's supposed to be contacting you shortly on that, but yeah, that's a whole separate.
I mean, I can see these coinciding with themselves, like, so you're not making these upgrades and then going back around them
Oh,
or
no.
and
No,
somewhere
that-
outside of them.
But where the units would line up on the second and third floor, they'll be lined up per the big windows. And, well, it really have to.
Windows will be
because
done,
it-
basically, and,
Yeah, because if you look at the column lines, it almost has to be that way, so that's.
okay. All right. I didn't know where we stood on that. It's been a while since I had that conversation.
Yeah, we had a lot of changes the last few months.
It's gonna be beautiful.
Yeah, we're excited. We actually bought the house across the street too.
All right, do we have any questions from the panel? Do we have any questions from the public? All right, do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion
Okay.
to approve as presented.
All right, do we have a second?
Second.
Or Alderman, all right. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, motion passed.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. All right, next on the agenda, we have a request for COA 105 North Broad Street. Looks like we have signage.
I'm not sure if anybody's here for this, but this is the old Little Italy restaurant. It has been reformed as Monroe Pizzeria. The signs are existing, and they have repainted the building. As you probably know, it kind of matches this light blue color here. I believe this is going, I'm sorry. This is a hanging sign. They told me that they were not going to be replacing this Little Italy sign, just taking it down, and that this sign here was going to be hanging.
Got a sign already hanging.
Yeah, all of this is already existing. Yeah. So, and he also has signage on the doors as well.
The window, yeah.
Yeah, this is the window sign up here. That's the window sign, and then a smaller version of this logo is on the doors with the hours and everything.
The color's blue, it looks so much better. Are we up to code on the size of the signage?
Yes.
I don't have any other questions. Can we vote with them not here?
Can.
Yes.
Okay. I move,
I wouldn't recommend you deny it if they weren't here, but if you're gonna approve it,
what does he say?
go right ahead.
We can approve.
Yeah.
You'd recommend we not what?
If you were gonna deny it and they weren't here, I would not recommend that.
No, I think, I've seen it, it looks really nice. A vast
Well,
improvement.
do we have any questions from the public about this particular one? No? Okay. Do y'all want to go ahead and vote on this? I mean,
have
do
no
you want to approve it? All right, do we have a motion?
I move we accept it as already in place, I guess you'd say.
Laura?
A second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passed. There you go, Laura. Okay, so let's see. And then the last one then on the agenda, looks like we have,
Is going to be 807 South Broad Street. It's an addition as well as windows and door replacement and some work on the porch. It's in the Monroe and Walton Mills Historic District. And the addition the applicant would like to do is on the rear of the structure. They want to remove this existing addition and create a larger addition, still within the original footprint of the building, just extending it backwards. And then here are some examples of, the house currently has 6/6 windows, and this is an example of the proposed window here, as well as proposed new front door. And this X's up here would be example of the porch railing, and this right here would be an example of the porch roof, very similar to the existing roof that is on it, a shed style.
Thank you. Hey, I'm Wes Peters, and basically, just like Laura said, just basically updating the house, old shotgun mill house built in 1925, and updating the windows and the doors. That porch on the right side was enclosed with, I'm really not even sure what kind of material, but anyway, I've opened it up and plan on leaving that as an open porch as well, and then updating the front porch as well.
Okay,
And it did have originally vinyl siding on it, so I've ripped all the vinyl siding off at this point.
So this back structure,
Yes.
the little one, so is it the side structure as well?
So basically, it is just, no, this is the rear of the house.
Okay.
And it's basically just coming off the house. It's basically like a 5 by 9 foot offset off the back of the house. That's the bathroom of the house.
Wow.
That's staying.
so this is behind here.
Yes.
Yes, yeah, that's on the side. This is on the very rear of the house, the one on the right there.
And what, the windows that you showed,
2 Everclear?
it's a standard 6/6 in the Mill Village.
Yeah, and that's what's,
6/6.
What is the, I
Now,
mean,
I know you're gonna see everything
right,
else
right.
down there,
That's my argument there.
but we're putting our fist down so that we can start and get it back to what it used to be.
Okay.
And the same with the balustrade, those X's, and I know you're gonna see them down there, but that's not what this is what we want, is those straight.
But that's a
So we go back
no
to the
argument
original.
on that, right?
I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, I
We
just
just
think
wanna get
I
back
just
to
think
the
it gives the opportunity for a little bit of modernization in that area as well.
I know.
I mean, obviously, with the historic nature, it's still a 1925 house. The structure is basically the same. I just, would like to see it a little more modernized per se,
Well,
as we've done on numerous buildings and everything else in the historic district.
and that's the problem. We've got so much mixed mash that you can't tell which is the.
Well, I think if it's done right and done
Historical.
done with the quite the right touch, it is still appropriate.
And the other thing that we said was paint, stays paint. Didn't you say that? And not stain?
yes, yes.
So that your balustrade and your post and all
Oh, that'll be painted,
would
definitely.
be paint, not stain.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
The front door may be stained. I'm not real sure on that. It may be painted or stained.
Well, let's
Wood.
modernize the front door as long as it's not all one pane.
It's not all one paint.
Yeah.
So on the rear of the house, though, in which I'm still kind of torn because of, a lot of the houses there. I mean, it would be just a
going.
reduced with a gable, just like the actual original structure, but just a reduced size coming off the
We're
back.
okay on that.
And so I
Yeah.
may keep that, or I may just go up with the same look as it falls in line with the other houses as well.
I think that would look fine, just to
that's
go
fine.
ahead and do what you need to do, extend it out, with that, I think that looks fine.
Okay.
I'm kind of with you, Faye, though, on the
Yeah, no, we
porch.
put our foot down on that.
I don't know how that looks, and the windows
Straight
too.
square. We're going back.
No, I get it. I totally,
Well, really and truly.
Laura had
I
already
know
given me a heads up and gave me
a lot of
that
people
I would be
got
arguing a
away
little bit,
with
so
it.
I'm totally fine. I'm historic, love historic look myself, so.
We know you do
I
because
just-
you keep coming back, whereas other people
I know,
don't.
you've seen me too much. No, so I'm good. So I will do, okay, just as a heads up, I've already bought the windows, but they can be,
Snap.
yeah, snapped in and out, so, and I've already talked to my window guy.
Compromise.
Yeah, I've already talked to my window guy, so if you see them go up, then just know that they will be changed out. Because they'll probably be installed
If not, we
tomorrow
know where
or
to find
Thursday.
you. If not, we know where to find you.
You know where to find me, for sure.
Okay, that's good.
Okay,
The
so
front door was the
the four panel,
thing.
yeah, that's
Okay.
right.
Yeah, I think that's a beautiful door.
Thank you. So approved, basically with everything, with the
have to vote.
regular banisters and, okay, yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead, y'all, sorry.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, question.
Okay.
Okay, I move we accept the
Well,
present.
hold,
Oh, you didn't do that.
let's slow it up. All right, does anyone on the panel have any more questions? Okay, do I have anyone in the audience that has any questions? Okay, do I have a motion to approve
Okay,
or deny, either way?
It's complicated. You want to make the
okay, I move that we accept the presentation as presented with the exception of the windows need to be 6/6, the balustrade needs to have straight pickets, and what you've presented here, the wood posts need to be painted, not stained. And the addition with the gable going back, shotgun extended is fine.
Okay, but if I decided to just raise it up with a flat roof as is,
That's
okay as
too, 'cause
well?
you're still within that gable.
Right, okay.
A second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks so
Thank you.
much. All right, let's see. We had one more thing on the agenda. Let's see here. I'm pulling it up. Our meeting schedule. Our 2024 meeting schedule. Laura, do you want to go over that?
Yes, so, right now, this is just some general housekeeping for the commission. If anybody would like to leave, then feel free to leave. But this is our meeting schedule, proposed dates for next year. There are 2 items of note. The meeting in November and December, they are moved from the Tuesday to the preceding Thursday. So it'd be, each one would be the 3rd Thursday of the month. That way we avoid conflicts with Thanksgiving and Christmas. And I'd just like to also make a note that the meeting in May is the day after Memorial Day.
You can still send us information on that, so.
Yes.
I move we accept it as presented.
A second.
Okay. All in favor?
Favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Motion accepted. Motion passed.
Okay.
Can we adjourn? Is that it? Do we have anything else?
We need a motion. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I move we adjourn.
Do I have a second?
A second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Faye, slow. Okay. This concludes the HPC meeting of November 28th, 2023. We are adjourned.